Hello, hello. Getting everyone coming in. Slowly getting their cameras set up, mics. A few more people joining. Okay. As you're getting ready, we would love to know where in the world you are joining us from. You can leave on the chat box so we can read where in the world you are joining this amazing event from Contrology. Arizona. Hi, Heather. We have Mari from Lexington, Vancouver. Okay, nice. Honolulu, oh, nice. How beautiful. Spain, that's late in Spain. I'm also in Europe at the moment. Well done to staying up so late. Canada. Amazing. Okay, we just give everyone a couple more minutes to get ready. And then we will start. If it will be great if you can turn all your mics off, but I think most of you have it off. But we like to see your faces. So let's turn the cameras on. We like to interact, know who is behind the camera. That's the beauty of this new technology we have these days. So show us your beautiful smiles. Yeah, there we go. More people turning the cameras on. That's nice. Okay, a few more minutes. And I'm letting some more people in. Hello, hello. Okay, good. So welcome everyone to this event that we're hosting. Pilates Link is hosting it, but it's an event from Contrology. It's a demo where Aaron is going to be showing us the tower and reformer unit. So we have Ken here representing of Contrology, of course. So Ken, if you want to say a few words before Aaron starts, he's just waving at us.
Oh, I had to turn on my microphone to say hi, but I'm really delighted to be here. I'm really looking forward to seeing Aaron's demo. I learn something every time I watch a demonstration, so this is exciting. And thanks for having us.
Thank you. Thank you for trusting the Pilates Link for organizing this. We love to connect the community. We love these events, and we love to see that. I see someone from Argentina here as well. Patricia, right? Hi, Patricia. She's there supporting everything as well. I'm Argentine. Okay, so I'm going to mute because I can hear myself twice. Let's get going. I know you're all here to see these demos. So I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to spotlight for you, Aaron. And here we go. All yours, Aaron.
All right, well, thank you so much, the Pilates Link, for actually having this event with Contrology. My name's Aaron Porter, Body by Aaron. I'm a Pilates instructor, massage therapist, and a personal trainer. And right now we're in my wellness center. So what you can't see is I have a massage table, I have an electric chair here, I have a pedal here. And what we're showcasing today is the Contrology Reformer with Tower. And what I wanted to show is how I normally have it set up. And it's absolutely gorgeous. And I want to start working on the mat. Then we're going to work with the tower. And then I'm going to show you the transition and how this device can turn into the reformer. So basically, you have this all-in-one system that has 3 exercise stations all together. I'm classically trained. I love the detail work with all this stuff. And I want to take you guys through a demonstration of a few exercises and how easy it is to actually do any work that you want to do on this apparatus. Let's see, so right over here, I want to talk about the mat. First thing I want to say is this whole thing is complete. So there's 3 different sections to here, and it goes straight all the way here. So even here, it's designed to even give a complete finished look. Also, the mat has really, it's firm, it has a little bit of give, so it has a lot of feedback potential, so your client can really feel where they are. This is also how I have it set up, but I want to show right away, if I was going to do my mat workout, I'm going to use these dowels. And I want to show you how easy it is to put these dowels in. Now it has over here a strap, but I like it really, really clean. So I tuck the strap underneath and I can just grab here and grab the strap. And I'm gonna get these dowels and they just go right in here. These are the Contrology dowels that are also on the folding mat, which I also have 5 of because I take these to my clients' homes so that they can actually do their mat homework anytime they want. So boom, I'm ready to go. And I'm going to demonstrate before I do anything else, I'm going to demonstrate single leg circles on the apparatus here. So I would lay down and already I haven't even done any Pilates today, but because of the way the firmness of the mat, I can feel my pelvic position, the position of my pelvis here, and I can just make adjustments. Now I can feel my rib cage actually changing position too because of the feedback I'm getting from this mat. My hands are going to go here where the dowel is, and I can bring my legs straight up, and I can still really push my left heel down as I'm pulling down on these dowels. What's lovely about this is these handles really, really, really go into the apparatus. So as I'm pulling, it's a really, really firm, connected grip. So I feel really connected to the apparatus. The other thing that's nice is my second bedroom here is a medium-sized room, and this can fit nicely in the corner. And if I want to move it out of the way a little bit, I definitely can. I wanted to demonstrate the roll-up. I want you guys to see the roll-up here. So I have everything. I like to store everything underneath. So right here, I have this bar nicely stored underneath, and I have a strap here for the roll up where my feet can go in. And same thing, I can roll all the way back down, and this is nicely connected to the edge. I want to open up my arms or anything. I'm really connected to the piece of equipment. And the same thing, I can feel my pelvis position here because this mat here is so firm. I can roll up, round forward, and I can roll all the way back down. The nice thing too is that everything feels the measurements for everything feels very tailored. So there's no fiddling around with everything. You can tell every single thing of this piece of equipment is perfectly the way that you need it. So you're not spending too much time fiddling with this or fiddling like that. It's all ready to go. I also now want to make the transition to the tower. Does anyone have any questions or anything about the mat before I change anything? Just want to check. Ken, do you have anything? Ken might be fine.
Sorry.
I'm not too sure.
Ken is fine.
Okay, great. Just double checking. So if I wanted to go from the mat, I'm right here for the tower. And one thing that's really wonderful is the way that I have this set up is I can go right into this. But if I wanted to work on the opposite side of the tower, I could move the apparatus diagonally, and I can do a lot of exercises on the other side. But for this purpose of the tower, I'm actually just going to focus leaving it as is. The one thing that's really great about the Contrology Reformer with tower is the rollback bar, the push-through bar, and the springs are the same as the Contrology Cadillac. Everything measured exactly the same. So you're getting that same element in the Reformer with tower. Once again, everything's preset. Can roll all the way back down, readjust myself. If I want to do any shoulder work, I can, and round all the way back up. One thing that I love as a classical teacher is these springs are exactly the tension that I want to work with. I don't have to fiddle with different springs, changing them in, changing them out. I'm simply ready to go. I want to show you how easy it is to go from the rollback to the push through. So I usually like to take this off just to get it out of the way. Hook so easily. The one thing that's really nice too is the push through bar. It feels very supportive. It feels very strong. So nothing feels weak. As I round forward and as I push forward and stretch my back and round all the way back, it feels completely grounded to the ground. The other thing that's nice that you guys can't see, but I actually really like is there's 4 legs to this. And when you order this, you get these wonderful pads so it doesn't stretch the wood and everything feels very sturdy and grounded. I'm just going to demo this one again. So I'm round all the way back and I push and I come all the way up and lifting. And I round all the way back and I push. And then I want to show you some leg spring or arm spring work, but I'm just going to reset this.
Sorry to interrupt you. We've got Deborah.
No, feel free.
How tall are you? And if you were doing rollover, following the roll up, will your feet hit the bar?
Oh, that was a very good question. I'm 5'10", and we can actually go back to that. And so she said, if I'm here doing the roll up, I'm just going to re-show that. Can you re-ask that last question again? If I'm going to hit the bar if I round forward?
So if you were doing the rollover, following the roll up, will your feet hit the bar?
The roll over. From Matt, the rollover exercise? Or the roll back?
Deborah, do you want to unmute yourself and clarify
Yes,
a little
please,
bit more
Deborah.
so we can address? Yeah, that would be great.
Sorry. No, I meant
It's
the
okay.
rollover. The rollover on the mat.
Okay.
Like you'd unhook your feet, I imagine, and then as you lift them up, it just looked like the rollback bar was right there. I'm about the same height as you, and I have some taller clients, so
Hold on one
I
second.
see.
See, I would go this way. I would go this way though, right?
Right.
So if I went here, I would actually go way over here. Hold on one second.
I guess I
Okay, so I'm
meant
gonna
if you
just see
just
how-
took your feet out, like would you have to sort of wiggle back, I guess, a little bit? You know what I mean? Like,
No, I understand. Yeah.
yeah.
I wouldn't for 5'10".
Okay.
So if I was doing the roll up and then going, I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
If I was doing the roll up going into the roll over, I don't think I would have to scoot back. But
Okay.
I'm trying to think if somebody else would. I don't think you would need to. I still have plenty of space back here, and I think it would actually work perfectly. I don't think that would be an issue at all.
Okay.
6'6" maybe it would be an issue, but that's about
Right.
it.
Okay,
And by the
thank
way,
you.
Okay, yeah, yeah.
5'10" is 178 centimeters.
Right.
Yeah, okay. Just for everybody else.
I think in
Mhm.
inches, but
Okay.
that's great. Thank you.
So really quick, going back here, we've got the leg springs already preset here. And then we have the arm springs already set here. I also just want to show you a few other things because when Contrology came out, I immediately wanted to get on a Contrology reformer. And now it's really cool to see that those reformers are actually now at Equinox, where I'm a member. So there's Contrology reformers everywhere. And as soon as I saw this Contrology reformer with Tower, I knew I had to get it. But I also wanted to show you other cool stuff. I'm not going to bring them totally out, but you can add other things. I have the airplane bar, which I absolutely love. That always goes underneath. And I also have the neck stretcher, which I also store here. So there's additional things that you can add as well. Leg springs all ready to go. Once again, what's so great is everything is just kind of preset for you. And once again, same thing, I'm getting that amazing firmness of the apparatus as I'm working through everything. And the leg springs feel great. So now I think I want to show you guys the transition from the Tower, how easy it is to move to the reformer. So from here, I'm just going to take these dowels out. And this is the first piece I usually take out. I can just usually store it here at the side. One of the nice things about this design, in fact, Ken mentioned it earlier, we talked about this earlier, this whole thing is complete. So there's another piece of equipment here that makes the whole thing makes it look finished. And then now from here, we have the foot bar coming all the way down. And then we can just add the springs here. I'm going to preset it obviously with 4 springs. For certain people that are taller, without even put this in, we have a stopper here. Now, when I was planning to buy this piece of equipment, there was a huge discussion and I spoke to a representative at Balanced Body and I wanted to figure out what should I do? Should I have a foot cover? Should I not have a foot cover? And I actually don't have a foot cover and I'm so happy I don't because it actually feels really great on my feet. We have 26 bones in our feet. We need to get a really good mobilization when we do our work and I absolutely love this. The other thing I learned from Balanced Body too is we have these shoulder blocks. And what's lovely about them is once you lock them in, so I'm going to grab the other one, they go in so easily, but the thing that's so nice is when I twist them in, they really lock into place because I've seen other reformers that when you do it, it wiggles, okay? These actually squeeze really nice and really firmly into place. So I'm all set up for footwork. And once again, it's the same thing that we had from the mat from the very beginning. I can still feel my pelvic placement and my back the whole time. Let me show you the short box. Once again, the dimensions are perfect. I don't have to adjust anything. I can literally just put the box in place, the pole in place. I'm ready to do round on the short box. Anyway, those are the exercises I wanted to demo, but it's so seamless. It's so ready to go. And when you have it in your house, you don't have to do a whole Pilates workout. You could do select exercises and you don't need a lot of time to set anything up. And that's one of the things that I really enjoy about this equipment. I want to just check if anyone has anything else to add. I'm out of breath already. I barely did anything.
I see Kiwana, I hope I pronounced correct your name. She asked if the foot bar can be adjusted to different heights, which you already show with the stopper. But I don't know if that's all you wanted to know.
Well, to answer that question, maybe Ken can go as well. As far as I know, this is the foot bar and it doesn't adjust, but you can move the carriage away from the foot bar. There's different gears for that. But, and Ken, do you want to go into the detail with that real quick?
No, that's exactly right. The foot bar just has one height unless you want to count being down as a second position. And we don't usually do that. So the height is the height. The distance from the foot bar to the shoulders, you can change by moving the gear bar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And why don't I demo that real quick so everybody can kind of see that?
Okay.
So they have a visual. And this is a big deal when we're actually doing short box. So I'm going to leave it for short box because you get a better visual idea. So this is when we're geared in completely. For me, I like to gear out one for myself, but this is the first distance if you kind of see. So this is how it's just when it's brought all the way in. I'm going to go back to the setting I just had it on. All I have to do is push the carriage out. I'm going to move the bar up one, and I'm going to use this stopper here. So this is the next setting. And most of my clients, this is the setting that I work with them on. For some women, some female clients that I have, I actually bring them in. The last setting, I'm going to even move out even more. Unhook all 4 springs. Carriage goes out again. The only thing you're going to do is you're going to flip this. And this is the last setting that we have. So there's 3 different options. And the nice thing is, you can just adjust this under like 9 seconds. It's so easy and effective. But once again, just yes-anding what Ken said earlier, this is just, it's either up or down. You can't change this in any way, shape, or form. but there's 3 different gear settings here.
Thank you. Thank you. We have another lady, Diana, asking if the shoulder blocks are specifically for right or left, or they can be used on either side.
Yes, they are specifically for the right or the left. There's nothing labeled that tells you which is which, but you can figure out like within 5 seconds if you've done it right or not. I'm sure you can probably label it if you wanted, but they're specific because they're drilled into the carriage. So if you make a mistake, you realize it's not going to fit in. It won't even remotely do it.
Okay. Is there any other questions before we move forward? I don't see anyone typing anything else. So if you want to just show us something on the reformer, Aaron, you can go ahead.
Well, I think what I'll do is I'm just going to demonstrate side sit-ups. I'm in the perfect position to actually do it, and I'm facing camera, which I think is great. Football would just go down. And then so from here, all ready to go, coming all the way back up. And I still have plenty of space here if I was taller than 5'10". And if I want to do a long stretch, I could actually do this, which feels absolutely amazing. And I actually have 2 of my clients are actually watching today because they think they're going to order this as well. So I was like, well, on Friday, I'm going to do a demo. I'm going to do the other side so you can just see from the back. And then a nice side stretch at the very end. Anyway, that's what I wanted to demo. I just wanted to do a few exercises, but the bottom line is everything is so easy. Everything actually feels extremely high quality. I can't even tell you. The leather straps feel amazing. The springs are an excellent, excellent resistance level. It looks brand new every day. I just, wipe it down and it's good to go. I just want to see if there's any other questions.
Yes, we've got 2
Or
more
if Ken
questions.
yes.
Deborah is
Perfect.
asking if you can please show the straps for short spine.
Yep. Now, can we ask Deborah? I'll be definitely happy to do that. But what's her thoughts about short spine? Is there something that she was thinking about? Because I know short spine is a huge deal when it comes to strap length.
Do you want to unmute yourself, Deborah, and you can explain?
Sorry, I seem to have a lot of questions. I was just curious about where
It's okay.
are coming from under there, and then like, is it like the Gratz kind of, or?
Well, I think it's exactly. Go ahead, Ken, please.
So what happens is there's a harness, a snap, like a dog snap on the end of at the end of the leather straps, and they actually connect to an eye bolt, and then the eye bolt that's underneath there can actually be tightened. So like if there's a discrepancy in the straps, you can adjust it a little bit and tighten it up or loosen it a little bit. It's not an adjustment to say I want to make my straps 2 inches longer, but it's an adjustment to say, okay, one strap stretched a little bit farther than the other one, so I want to lengthen the screw or tighten the screw in order to accommodate for that. But while I'm on that, most of you already know this, but I think it's really important to rotate your straps. So put the right strap on the left side, left one on the right side, because usually the one strap seems to always stretch out faster than the other one, and you're just getting more life out of your straps if you do that.
Can you repeat that? That's really great information. Can you say that last part one more time, please?
So what most people find out is that on leather straps, one side will stretch out faster than the other side. Usually it's the left-hand one that stretches out farther. That when you're lying on it, it stretches out faster than the right-hand side. So it's really important to rotate your straps, to switch the sides, to move the right one to the left side, the left one to the right side, and do that every 6 months to a year. And so your straps will stretch out at about the same rate.
And we have Diana asking, how often will you swap your straps then?
I think it's really important for people to have a schedule for the reformers. And I think it's really important to rotate not just your straps, but your springs. So I would say do a quick visual inspection of your springs weekly. I would say clean your reformers weekly. I would say once a month, just kind of look at everything really closely, look at the full spring and check for gaps and check for, for gaps or distortions in the springs. Just to check that stuff out. Usually you're not going to, well, most likely you won't find anything, but it's good to check. And then in terms of rotating the springs and rotating the straps, I'd say you can do this more often, but I would say rotate your springs every 3 months. But if you're lazy, you could do it every 6 months. And so that way we can take the outside ones and move them to the inside. But you just have to just come up with a system for how you want to do it. You could move all your springs over one notch or one hook to the left, and then put the left one over on the right side and do that every 3 months if you want to do that. And that'll get you longer wear out of your springs as well. So I would say 3 months on your springs, 3 to 6 months on your straps, and everything will last a little bit longer.
Great. We have one.
I think that's great information. What?
Mhm.
Before we
Sorry.
before we do that, I just want to go back to, because Deborah, we didn't really fully answer her question. She was talking about the transition for short spine. So I want to wrap that up before we go somewhere else. So all I do is I'm going to put the loops through the handles, and then I'll kind of demo what this looks like. So it's the perfect length for me. So once again, just, I think Deborah talked about it earlier, but yeah, you would just do it like you normally would on that other reformer, where the handles would go right, or the loops would go right through the handles. And it's perfect. That's the only thing I have to do. But go ahead.
Deborah,
Next question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Great. So then going back to the reformer, the springs and all that, we have Heather asking how often you replace the springs, and if it's important to also swap the straps in the Allegro too.
So I didn't understand the last part of the question about the Allegro too.
So if you also need to change the straps, swap the straps in the Allegro too.
No. So you might at some time in the future, so I'll never say never. And if you start on the Allegro 2, that uses ropes and not straps. And so if you start to see a lot of fraying in the straps, then that's at some point you should start thinking about changing them. But they could take a lot of fraying before they actually become weaker. And then in terms of changing your straps on the Contrology reformer, I would say it's something that you only do when you have to do it. So there's no real time period on it, because a lot of it depends on the care of the straps, and how you actually treat them. So what to look for with the straps is start to look for cracks. So if you start to see cracks, and usually the cracks develop along the rivets and on the folds. And if there's any seams on the straps, you need to check around there too. If the straps just start delaminating, because on some reformers, on the longer ones, not the 80 inch, because we use just a solid piece on the 80 inch, but for the 86 and 89s, they don't make cows big enough for us. And so we have to seam the straps. And so if the seams start coming apart, then you replace them. So it's a visual thing on the straps. It's like when they start to crack, when they start to come apart, when they get brittle, that's when you change them.
The other thing I wanted to add, because I actually called a Balance Body yesterday to ask a question. This actually can be shipped within 10 business days, which is absolutely insane. Because I know when people order reformers, sometimes, especially classical, we're talking sometimes months. Sometimes I know I've heard some places it's been 13 months. This is 10 business days. That's huge. So I want to applaud Contrology for that, because I'm sure that wasn't an easy task. But I got that confirmed yesterday that it was 10 business days.
Yeah. We make everything we can pre-assembled it so that it's ready to go. So the frames are ready to go. We just save just the packaging for the very end and the upholstery parts, because we never know what color people are going to order. But yeah, that's why we could do this.
Fantastic. That's super impressive. Well done, Ken. So yeah, I remember last demo we did was, I think, the barrel, and there was like a 3-month wait, and that was like about 4 months ago. So it's great. Now it's only down to 10 days. We have someone else asking, what is the weight capacity for the reformer tower unit?
Good question. And this is a question that we often get. So to answer your question, I would say about 300 pounds. And it may be even more than that for someone just lying on the reformer. But there's, whenever you're talking about weight capacity, you want to think about what would happen if somebody lost their balance or if they were in a position where they fell. And then I think at that point, weight doesn't matter. Weight does matter even more than it matters when somebody's 150 pounds. It matters a lot more when they're 250 or 300 pounds. And what can you do as an instructor to prevent that? I think you always have to consider that. So anyway, I'd have no problem putting a 300-pound person on that carriage, lying down, doing footwork. That would be easy.
I just want to add something else, because as Ken's talking, everything's flying into my head about my experience of purchasing this and receiving this. It came with so much stuff I can't even tell you. It came, you didn't have to worry about these pads for stomach massage. I got 2 of those. I got, a stopper. I mean, everything was all ready to go, which is another thing I wanted to discuss. So it's like, it came delivered. I actually got the white glove service, and it had everything, all the straps, all the safety straps, everything, all in one.
Fantastic. Any more questions? This is the time, people. Anything else you'd like to know regarding this particular apparatus? Or it can be about something else that you were thinking about getting, maybe you were thinking about getting the Wunda chair, or you can also we have Ken here, so that's fantastic. You can ask him anything.
I think I'll contribute one more thing too, because I have a lot of clients that I train in their homes, and they're thinking about, what should I get? Should I just get a reformer? Should I get a reformer with tower? Adding this tower component is huge. You just have so many more exercises you can do, and it's just taking up this much more space going up here. So the room actually still appears very, very open, as opposed to the full Cadillac. So this is like a perfect piece of equipment for in-home training. Studios as well. But I mean, I have still all this amazing space in my room, and this fits nicely in the side, and I can move it away from the wall if I need to, or I can move it diagonally and do stuff on the opposite side of the tower. But I'm just going to go back to Ken. Ken, I just was so excited. I knew this was the item that I had to purchase as soon as I saw that Contrology was doing a reformer with tower. It was just like, okay, that's it. Decision was made.
Thank you. Thank you for that.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
And more people are actually building spaces within their homes. That's another thing. I live in LA, and people are creating their own wellness centers, because it's wonderful to go to a studio, but sometimes you want to work out anytime you want to work out. And more people are creating these spaces within their apartments, their condos, and their homes. So I'm more and more is happening in LA like that. So I just want to contribute that as well.
That's kind of a recurring theme that I'm seeing more and more, especially since COVID. It seems like people came out of COVID with this fantastic appreciation for how important their health was to them. And they're willing to invest more in their health now, not just in their houses, but going out into studios. And that's where the studios are growing. It's like they're just committed. They're committed to staying healthy. And it makes me feel really good about the future of Pilates.
I completely agree. My joke is Elton John has to have a piano. So if you are doing some kind of a movement practice, have the equipment. Have the equipment. And you might only have 15 minutes. You might not be able to do a full session on your own or with an instructor. But I can't even tell you if I've been in the car for a long time and I just want to do short spine, or it's preset with the tower and I just want to do push through a rollback. I come in here for 5 or 10 minutes and I'm ready to go. So, anyway, I could go on forever, but I just wanted to contribute that as well.
Fantastic. We have Deborah asking here again, do you ever do standing exercises on the tower mat?
I do. I do, but I don't do it that often because I have to move it. But I do some standing exercises with the springs. In fact, if we can unmute Deborah, because I want to talk to her about that. Do you
Sure.
I want to ask her if she visualized. Yeah, Deborah, go ahead. And do you feel like if you had the reformer with tower, do you feel like that's an element that you would really use is the opposite side of the tower? And for those of you that might not know it, we would actually just be standing over here in this area.
Yeah, I guess like I have currently I have the peak reformers that convert to a tower. And the space in my studio, I don't have room for people to stand doing their standing arms and things on the floor the way you would traditionally. So I have them,
Right.
I get them to do things like standing up on the mats.
Okay.
And they do their arm springs and their standing work, standing on the mat. So I'm just wondering how
so
do you feel it is, or like, is that possible with this one? I'm looking to, I'm interested in this because it's like, do you know what I mean? It's more classic.
I do. And for
proportions.
me, yes. And I'll let Ken answer that as well. But
Okay.
I've never done standing arm work, standing on the mat, but I will tell you this, it's very sturdy. Okay. This piece of equipment is very sturdy. I feel very stable on it. It does, nothing feels rickety, nothing feels in danger of anything. So
Yeah.
I'm going to defer to Ken to actually hear that. Normally, I'm such a classic purist. I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to do it just as is. But I know space is a big deal, because the same thing, I wish I could do it a little bit more if my place was bigger, but I don't have enough space with the door here. Because if I did, I would utilize it a lot more. But I'll let Ken answer that question. But from my point of view, when the mat is set up, it's extremely sturdy. But go ahead, Ken.
Yeah, so I would have no problem with a 250-pound person standing on the carriage, and you put it on the springs. 300 pounds, that would probably be okay too. We have not tested a 300-pound person just standing and jumping up and down on the mat part of the carriage. So that part I can't really speak to because I just don't know yet, because we just don't have anyone that big stomping around. So I would just say no for now. But I think
like
that's not really...
say an average size person, you know.
Yeah,
so like an average size man, we'll say.
Yeah, no problem. No problem.
Would be fine. Okay.
Just, yeah, we tested all that stuff too. We just, you know, it's hard when you get up there to actually do some tests, and then to do ballistic tests is really hard. So we were able to do that.
Okay, no, that's great. That.
I want to add one more thing, because Ken said jumping, and I have the Contrology jump board, and I want to talk about that very briefly. When you put the Contrology jump board in the reformer, it fit, and I want Ken to talk about this. It fits in there so perfectly that when you jump on the jump board, there's no wiggling. Like it becomes one with the rest of the equipment. You literally can feel connected back to the ground, because if the jump board is here, in fact, I'm just going to place it here. I even have to kind of wiggle it in. It's not moving. Like, listen, it's not wiggling. So it's really, really, really connected. In fact, Ken, if you want to talk about that a little bit as well, because I'm actually amazed at how solid this actually feels.
Yeah, but this is actually probably not a good thing I'm going to talk about right now, but I should talk about it anyway. On some of the very first Contrology reformers that we built, we were building them and we tested them for the thickness of the plywood that we were building on the jump boards. And then the manufacturer changed it by just a few thousandths, and the jump boards were kind of sloppy. So if any of you have that reformer, we can fix that really easy. Just let us know what that's the problem. But it was really important for us in the beginning to get that just right, so that it just kind of slid in with not too much work, so that it was really solid. Because at the end of the day, you know, noises surprise people, and so you really want to keep things from rattling. Yeah. And
now, taking this out is a little.
I was just gonna say, it's got this steel plate in the middle of it that makes it really, really strong. So it doesn't even need to be supported by the foot bar.
That's correct. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Now, to take it out is a little challenging, but I'm good at taking it out because I do Pilates. Are there any other questions?
I think everyone is very quiet.
Mhm.
We're all good. No more questions. You've got Ken here, Aaron here to show
Yeah.
you. Anything else you'd like to see from the apparatus before we close the demo? It's your time now.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Deborah, I see you smiling. Is there any more question? No? Okay.
I would just like to invite everyone to try it, wherever they can try it. Find a Contrology reformer in your area and feel the difference. When I first approached the whole project with Jay, you know, we were talking about this earlier before we went on air. I was a little bit of a skeptic as to how different a reformer could be when they pretty much look the same. And it really gets down to the details. And Jay was really, as critical as he was, you know, and as I was afraid I would drive him crazy, and I think I was concerned that I would drive him crazy. You know, he was really informative about what he was looking for and what he wanted. He knew what he wanted, and he was able to convey that to me, and it really made a big difference when I was working on the reformer. So as I got through the project, I had this healthy skepticism, but it turned out to be, you know, based on some really solid information that really helped me with the design of this. So thanks to Jay, but it's something that you guys need to feel for yourselves in order to appreciate what we're talking about.
Is there any way to figure out where certain places and certain areas might have Contrology reformers? Is there any way
Yes.
to help people
Yes,
with
it's
that?
just,
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually just put it in the chat. Hi, everyone. I'm Shannon from Balanced Body. I'm just sitting in the background moderating. But I just put it in the chat. So if you go to contrology.pilates.com/demo centers, the link's right there. Jump on in and you'll see we have a network of authorized demo centers. And they will, if you contact them directly, they will be happy to set up a mutually convenient time to get on and try the equipment and talk to them about it, get their input. Also, we have a submission form on the Contrology website. If there isn't an ADC, an authorized demo center near you, we will, Anna Caban, who is our brand ambassador for Contrology, will connect you with a Contrology studio, a studio with Contrology apparatus in your area. So please feel free, again, the links in the chat.
right, because the
The
chat
other
will
thing
close and you won't have access. What we're gonna do is we're gonna email everyone who was signed up for this call. So you receive an email with this link. So you will have it now. We will do it as soon as we finish the call. So don't worry to type it or copy paste right now. We will send it to you.
I also wanted to add, because I've been shopping with Balanced Body for the last 10 years since I've been a Pilates instructor. If you have any questions, their sales staff answers the questions the best they can. And if they don't have an answer, they will get back with you. Because I had so many questions about the foot bar. I was like, should I get a pad? Should I not get a pad? Also, and Ken, can you go over this as well? Because I think there's 2 variations of the mat transfer system. Am I correct in saying that? There's one that's the whole thing, and then there's another one where you can take it apart in sections. Is that correct? Or is it just, is this just the one?
Just the one. Yeah. We haven't done it.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
decided not to do a solid one. Yeah. It was just too
Okay.
heavy.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Well, I just know this is the one that works for me. But
Yeah.
the questions that I had were all, you know, when I had very specific questions, the people at Balanced Body were very, very helpful in getting back to me for me to make the best decision possible.
Yeah. They're trained to we hope to train them to know all the answers, but we also train them not to make stuff up. So if they don't know the answer, they'll find the answer.
That's right.
Mhm.
We have here one lady asking that she's got like both a peak and stot reformer, and the straps can be at different heights. So I guess it's a contemporary one. I noticed you can change the height of the Contrology. So that's it's because one is classical and the other one is contemporary, right?
Right. Yeah, it's just you know, I can see in the contemporary world that's really important, but in the classical world, it's not an issue at all.
So that will be aligned with like your balanced body line, Allegro, and the balanced body line, not the
Right,
Contrology
right.
line.
Exactly, exactly. Yeah, the whole, I like to innovate more than anybody. It's what I love to do, right? The idea with Contrology for us was to recreate the Pilates machine as it was made in like 1957 or 1962. The same technology, the same materials, the same feeling, the same everything. And so really it's a recreation, it's a reconstruction of a piece of equipment that Joe would have ordered for his studio. And that was the goal. So changes were frowned upon, and I didn't want to change anything that I didn't absolutely have to change. And so I wanted to make it like it was made in a company 70 years ago. That was the goal.
And I'll say, as a Pilates instructor and a person that owns this piece of equipment, you are actually feeling an experience. You're actually experiencing being one with the apparatus, and you can feel it on every exercise. And it's almost like a good book. The more that you do your Pilates practice on this piece of equipment, the more you're going to feel your actual body change with the design of this, being on your backside, your back, so on and so forth. I love it. So thank you.
Fantastic. We have here Charlie asking, she's in the UK and she wants to know where she can purchase balanced body equipment there.
She can call or email us. I actually think that we have balanced body equipment in stock in our UK warehouse. And so it's just a matter of sending us an email or giving us a call, and we'll make it happen. It's easy.
We do. We actually have a website that's dedicated to inventory, our UK warehouse inventory. So I'll put that in the chat as well. She can check there to see what's in stock in the UK. If it's not in the stock in the UK, then we'll send it over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay. There are no more questions. I think we can close up this demo unless someone else wants to jump with the last question. Before. Or Ken, will you like to say anything else? Would you like to add?
It was a great demo. I can't really add much to what was said and what was going on. Great job.
Yeah, great chat. Yeah.
Great. It's and to my point earlier, I learned something every time I watch somebody on the equipment. So that's really exciting for me. No, I actually don't. I thank you for this, for doing this demo and for allowing us to do this. And I just want to invite people that if they have any questions, or they're scratching their heads and they're thinking like, what were we thinking? To let me know. Send me an email. It's ken@pilates.com, and we'll try to answer your questions as best we can. And if we don't know the answer, like I said, we'll just tell you. So, or we'll try and find it out for you. So thank you so much. Thank you for the time.
I want to add one more thing. Jay Grimes teaches at a studio in Los Angeles called Strong Body Pilates, and they have a lot of Contrology reformers. And the best thing is to get on the equipment that's going to answer those questions. So utilizing that thing that we talked about earlier, where we can locate Contrology reformers, you should definitely look into that, because you can actually experience what we're talking about and actually feel it. And that is makes all the difference in the world. Yeah.
Talk is cheap. Experience talks. Yeah. Experience talks.
Yes.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Well, soon we will have this demo available as well on our YouTube channel. So if you want to go back to it, read, we will have we'll send an email with all the information that we're discussing today. And yeah, just everything will be available for you to rewatch or check on the website. So thank you very much. Thank you, Ken. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you, Contrology. And thank you everyone who joined today and who participated. We do it for you. So thank you for being so interactive today. It was really enjoyable.
Okay. Thank you so much. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.